Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Hello, welcome.
What's good, everybody? What's good?
Yes, welcome to our cute table talks where we keep it real,
Where we keep it relevant,
and where we keep it raw.
Gotta keep it 100.
Yes, I'm Dr. Marcia Burden-Tiggs, and I'm one of the co-hosts for this podcast. And next to me, I have the lovely...
I am Pastor Kimberly Mann, or Pastor Kim, or PK. It's whatever you like.
Yes, and we're so excited to have our guest in the building today with us. We have one of the newest pastors at the Oakwood University Church, as well as somebody else who I might have got my last name from. And so we're so excited that they are here with us. Hey, what's up? What's going on?
What's up,
Hey,
co-host?
how's it going on?
Great to be here.
Today.
Yes,
Glad to be here.
Yes, we're so excited. And so on this podcast, we definitely like to keep it real, relevant, and law. And so we want to get into our first segment, What's Good Church?
What's good, church?
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
All right, What's Good Church?
What's good, church?
Yes, this is our segment where we like to talk all things church. We want to talk about the things that you might not necessarily talk about or hear about in the pulpit. And so today on What's Good Church, we really want to talk about spirituality versus religion.
Yep.
During this time right now, a lot of people are like, I'm spiritual. I'm not affiliated with any religion, or they're like, I'm Seventh-day Adventist.
Right. That part.
And that's it. So we're talking about when we're talking about spirituality versus religion. What are you guys' thoughts on that? You know, do they walk hand in hand? Are they two separate issues? Let's start with the pastor. Pastor next to us. What are your thoughts when you hear spirituality versus religion?
Well, when I hear the two, they can go hand in hand, but unfortunately, there's a lot of individuals who hold on to one more than the other, and that gives us a bad reputation to the church. And you know, it's sad because it doesn't need to be that way. I really think that when you have a good religion, like a good, strong foundation and doctrine, we need that, you know, and that sets up the spirituality part and allow the Holy Spirit to use you and be in the church so you can feel a difference. But then, you know, there's individuals who hang on to doctrine more than their relationship with Jesus. And I just don't understand that. And, you know, I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. Like, people will lose their religion if somebody comes in the church with a short skirt. Or you sit in their spot they've been sitting for 32 years.
Not the spot.
I'm serious. I am so serious. Like, I know, even at this church, I can look at people and I know where certain individuals
where they sit.
Yes.
Yeah. When we're up at the pulpit, you're like, they're right there.
Yeah.
They're right there.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, I get nervous if a visitor comes in not knowing, you know, this is their first time, and the first thing you're gonna get told is, get out of my spot.
That's terrible.
Like, that's bad.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we can just change, you know, how church is portrayed, you know, and how we interact with people, you know, these two can go hand in hand. There shouldn't be a war at all. But this is the type of stuff that the devil uses to keep the church divided, and it's unfortunate that we're in that predicament right now.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we got to separate what is spirituality and what is religion. Religion is more of a practice. And of course, there are a lot of religions, there are a lot of practices. Most of the practices, as we know, came out of the Protestant movement. People moved from, England and came to America because, that's what America, was basically founded upon. And of course, spirituality is more of our relationship and our connection with Christ, because our relationship and connection with Christ will influence our connection with people. So the thing is, we kind of put the cart before the horse. Like we put religion first, which is like tradition and laws, but our relationship with Christ should go first and, religion second. So.
Okay. I love it. I think that when we talk about this, because right now, people don't even really talk about religion. They be like, oh, energy. Like, I'm going to match your energy, or I feel energy. We're in this whole era where people are like, talking about, and very much in our Afrocentric diaspora, we talk about making our ancestors proud. And it's very, as we get more ethnocentric, sometimes we lose our spirituality, as if being spiritual and being Black aren't or can't be connected. And I think sometimes we lose ourselves, especially as we're, in Black History Month, that we feel as though because Christianity in various forms were colonized, that I can't subscribe to religion and still be authentically Black and be authentic to myself, which so then you end up separating religion from spirituality. But I think having an understanding of what spirituality is and what religion is a set of rules that I align my moral compass to, that guides the decisions I make on a daily basis. Spirituality is the who helps guide that moral compass that guides my decisions. So spirituality, I can be like, oh, I believe in the ancestors and the firmament and the chakra. And so based on those things, then my religion or what I subscribe to are those things. So when I go into my day, if my chakra doesn't feel right, then something's also, I'm using my spirituality to inform my religion, which informs how I live. So ultimately, everybody on some level is practicing spirituality and religion.
I think that's true. I think that everybody believes in something. Because a lot of people, one of the hiccups with religion and sometimes spirituality as well is who is the higher power? Is there actually a God? Is there something, or is it within me? That's the new trend. It is in me. I am of this being, et cetera, et cetera. But honestly, we can't live, move, or have our being without the power of God. The Spirit of God is the reason why we even breathe. So it's kind of like, okay, come on, this is actually connected. And then when it comes to religion, I think, Solomon, you brought up a good point in that a lot of times people use religion to control people.
Say that.
And so when it's used for evil, who wants to be a part of something that's used as a control mechanism? I mean, if we're going to stick on this line of Black history, we look at slavery. We look at the people who colonized this country, and they use the Bible
to do the worst of evil.
Yes, as religious leaders to change words to fit their own narrative. When in actuality, a slave is supposed to be treated better than even your own cattle that you own, because they are a part of your home. So if you look at slavery in this real sense, they're servants to you, but you treat them like family. And so when we have these things, a lot of people say, well, I don't want to be a part of religion. But then the flip side of it is we are not to forsake the assembly of the brethren. We have to come together with our beliefs. Our spirits need to unite so that we can have that, camaraderie amongst like-minded people.
But see, that's because religion has been looked at as the church. Like, I go to that church. I subscribe to that. Like, I go into that building. And that makes me religious. So if religion is confined to building and space
Right.
and those things, then people don't want to subscribe to it because it's like, oh, I don't like that place. We do the same thing. Like if you go to a restaurant and you get food poisoning, you be like, I'm not going back to that place, right?
Correct.
Not to say all soul food restaurants are bad, but that soul food restaurant gave me food poisoning, so I'm not going back there. But what we do is we take the generalization of that one restaurant, that one place made me sick, or that one place made me upset, and now it applies to everything. So people out there who may be watching, you're like, oh, well, I don't go to I don't subscribe to Adventism because my grandma made Adventism hard for me, or I don't subscribe to Adventism because my mama got kicked out the church when she was pregnant with me, or I don't subscribe. So you got food poisoning one time, or a family member got food poisoning at that one particular restaurant, and now you're like, I'm not Adventist, I'm not going to Adventist church, I don't believe in God. I mean, we just throw all the baby and the bath, we throw it all out the window after one thing. But we treat restaurants better than we treat God.
Right. And then my issue is this. My issue is our foot can touch the wrong part of the pew, and we're against the church in and of its totality. Oh, they have so many rules and restrictions. Oh, this, no, that. And honestly, let's just be honest, folks, it's excuses. Because at the end of the day, you made a very valid point. If it's your favorite artist,
that part.
If Jordan releases those new shoes, your toe gonna get stepped on, you gonna get almost knocked down, you might get pushed out. At these concerts, people are literally getting trampede on and stumped. But because it's your favorite, you don't care about that. Why is it the littlest thing?
Like the people who keep buying tickets to the Lauryn Hill concert and Lauryn Hill keep not showing up. But people keep buying tickets to the Lauryn Hill concert. You give Lauryn Hill more chances than you give Jesus.
Yeah, so why is that a thing? And then this whole spirituality, are you really spiritual, or are you just performing rituals? If we be honest, like, are you actually spiritual? Do you understand what spirituality means? And so these are things that I believe that are questions that most people can't answer. But the last thing I gotta say is this, folks. If you don't want to subscribe to something, that's your decision between you and Jesus. Stop trying to recruit me, though, that do subscribe to a particular religion or a particular church. Stop trying to get me to get on your side of being against them. It's okay. We are in America. We are free to have our own identities, our own opinions, but we don't have to be forceful, because God is not a God of force. He's loving, he's kind, he's gentle.
Right, because Pastor Chris, if you don't burn sage in your house, did you really cast the demons out? Like, did you really?
I think some of these things, I see it on social media. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like this is terrible. And I mean, I have to agree with you guys. Like, people put the Lord and church in a box. They do. And they will give everything else. They will give the going to the club or a show or something so many chances, multiple opportunities, but one bad time at church, that's the end of it. And it's like, that's not fair and that's not right. Like, there is other churches in the area. Right. Like, there are other things you can do to be able to have a fellowship with the people.
Or you can go online to Oakwood University Church on
YouTube. On YouTube,
you can go online, but
you will see it. It's and for the people at home, come back to church. Come back to church, okay? Because during COVID, you still found a way to go out there and do your thing, but then run for church. They don't have the mask, they don't have hand sanitizer. But were you worried about that when you were going to all these other places?
The restaurants did not go.
I'm just saying.
But Solomon, you were about to say something.
I was just gonna piggyback off what Chris and Pastor Man said. Of course, what Pastor Man said. We about food poisoning. We've all been food poisoned, so to speak. We've all had bad experiences in the church. But are we gonna stop going to church because of our bad experience? No, we should still always go to church, which is why our spirituality is more important than our religion. Our spirituality needs to be rooted in Christ. We always need to keep our eyes focused on Him instead of everything around us and the people around us.
Yes, so everyone, what is it, spirituality versus religion? Do they go hand in hand? Are they separate? Can they go hand in hand? We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you in our comments, in our chat. Let us know, what is your position on this topic? And coming up, we got something really, really interesting. Yeah. So stay tuned.
Yeah, real world.
Yeah, you better.
What's up, everybody? So we're back and we are getting into the real world. And this segment is super important because, listen, we can't be so heavenly minded that we're of no earthly good.
Right.
And so this whole segment talks about things that are happening in our world. And right now in our world,
Mercy.
Trump
Mercy. Again.
is looking like the GOP's candidate for president again. After, the Iowa caucus and the New Hampshire caucus and the debates that are going on that Trump is winning.
Yep.
Like, how? And so it's looking more and more like Donald Trump is going to be the GOP's primary party or primary ticket for president again.
We're about to have a Biden-Trump matchup again.
But
Wow.
and so like
Help us.
the question that
81-year-old versus the 77-year-old. Mercy, Lord.
so
citizens.
the question to our panel is, how do you see this playing out again in our world, in our society? What does Trump as president look like again? And why on earth is this even a possibility again?
Solomon, you want to go first while I gather my thoughts? Sorry.
Well, yeah. To answer your question, is yes, very interesting because the first time Trump won the election was very interesting. Like he's like a non-politician, but everybody, galvanized around him. Of course, with the storming of the Capitol. So I think it's very interesting, especially when he got 54% in New Hampshire. I think that's very interesting over Nick Haley. It's shocking to me.
And
Very shocking.
they're making it seem like he won by a landslide. Like he only won by 11 points, something like that. It wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
So, my thing is, these individuals are still voting for this guy after all of this information. Like, you talk about getting away with it. He is the definition of getting away with anything he
It's a circle of
wants.
society.
This
that
dude
loves him.
should not be running. He should be in jail.
Listen,
He should be in jail sitting next to Suge Knight. I'm
because
telling you.
somebody on his team knows Olivia Pope, because I'm trying to figure out how you can do all of this.
My goodness.
If Barack Obama would have had a speeding ticket, if he would have had, if he would have thrown his trash on the street and not in a trash can, some camera somewhere would have caught it, and they would have been like, "Oh, he doesn't care about our planet. He's a litterer." And then next thing you know, he would not have been able to run because some organization, Moms Against Littering, would have been like, he's not fit to be our president because he litters. But Donald Trump can effectively lead out in an insurrection.
Criminal activities.
He was, and correct me if I'm wrong, they charged him.
Let's talk about the criminal activities for a second. First of all, this man has 4 indictments.
Thank you.
Currently, he has 91 felony charges currently as of date, not past, not currently that are pending against him. Literally, as we're filming, he's in court right now on one of the charges, trying to settle it. And you know what? I said, man, this is the smartest ever, because if he becomes president, he can pardon himself and get away with all of it, and we be like,
If that
what?
don't sound like Satan, I mean, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Lord have mercy. Literally, the only thing that is standing between Trump being the president again, outside of the votes, amen. But outside of that is literally him going to jail.
That part.
Him
and
going
he's
to jail.
not going to go to jail. He literally said before he was ever president that he could stand in the middle of Times Square and shoot somebody and no one would do anything about it. Like, he already has the mindset that he's untouchable. He already has the haughtiness to believe he is untouchable. If he gets into presidency again, this joker is like the Antichrist. Like, he's going to carry himself literally as if he is Jesus Christ. I am untouchable. You tried to come for me. And this is proof, guys. This is proof that what everybody says is completely, like, he's going to use that to galvanize America into doing exactly what he wants.
Well, the problem is, you brought this up, Chris, and this is the issue. When you look at who's supporting him, it's the same group of people. Despite it all, they roll hard and
Yeah.
deep
Yeah.
for this man. Like
They
literally,
roll hard,
the
all right.
polls said that the moderates and the independents, the moderate Republicans and the independents and the younger generation either are not for him.
They're not.
But the conservative Republicans, those staunch MAGA followers, these people are ride or die.
And the
literally.
1% that benefit off of it's just crazy to me. Again, I go back to Barack Obama or even Biden. If these men would have literally bounced a check, there would have been you can't get it. All of these. I mean, they want to disqualify Biden from being president because they say he speaks too slow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
President Trump literally speaks about people. Like he desecrates people, but somehow we subscribe to that. And so I feel as though that percent that's galvanizing or that's supporting him, they have the money,
Yes.
they have the power, and they have the vote. The other issue is that I just personally feel, and I'm not a Biden hater, but we don't have a strong enough change agent running against him. Like the Democratic ticket, there's really nobody on the ticket that, at least now, we're literally in the closing stretch of the race. That is exciting people to vote for something new.
Let me tell you how bad it is. In New Hampshire, folks, New Hampshire, Biden didn't even submit his name to be on that ballot, okay? He won New Hampshire by a landslide against the other people who actually put their names on the ballot for the Democratic role and position. I mean, it's insane. Solomon, you talked about senior citizens.
Yeah.
Let's touch on that a little further, because that bothers me that people, shout out to my grandma, but that bothers me that people my grandparents' age are running to be president.
Dang.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Trump is what, 77, and Biden is like 79, almost 80, or like 80. So yeah, I mean, it's very interesting, that we don't have a younger generation, even like 54, 55. Because I mean, when Clinton came in, he was about 48. Barack Obama was about 48. So around that age range should be, people running for presidency.
But I believe that ties into the method of America, which is crushing hopes and dreams. And it's so interesting that America has been touted as the land of dreams, the land where your dreams can come true, when so many of America's policies and procedures are dream crushers. And I believe that this generation that has access, we're the information generation. We have access to all the things, Google, AI, GPT chat, all of the things, right? And so what that does is when you see like a Clinton come in and he ran for 2 terms, but then afterwards everything he did got unraveled. And then you see a Barack Obama come in and he was hated, he was desecrated, the man turned gray before our eyes. When you're 48, you're like, I don't want that in my life. Like, I don't want those kind of problems. And so there is a lack, what the ballot looks like to me is there is a lack of hope in America. America just feels hopeless. Why, as a young person, am I going to push for change when everything is just going to stay the same? And Trump is evidence that even when you push for change and it is glaringly obvious that change needs to happen, things are still going to stay the same.
But the question is, who's pushing for change? I think that's where we have to address it, because although our country is diverse, there's still a majority. And that majority looks like Trump.
And they stick together.
They stick together because they don't want to become the minority. And it just speaks volumes to how effective we are as African Americans, because we're on the smaller end where we talk about minorities and the way we can effectuate change. Again, personally, y'all, I don't want to see a debate between the 77-year-old and the 81-year-old. That's just me personally. But the way it's looking, hey, we're getting close, and literally Trump's cases are coming up, but they're coming up kind of at the last minute. So he could go already and succeed, because you got a case that's coming up right before Super Tuesday. Well, he could use that to his advantage and be like, this is why you need to vote for me, because this case is up against me. I mean, the man walked out recently on his trial, y'all. He walked out on the opposing counsel's closing arguments. He literally walked out. And said, I don't want to hear what they have to say. And then he walked back in when his counsel got ready to speak.
people need to realize this. If he is voted in as president, things are gonna get like 10 times worse. Like people are on Biden's back about this whole Israel bombing thing and everything like that. You think Trump's gonna stop that? No, he's not gonna stop that. You think Trump is gonna support the Ukraine with Russia, who's his best friend with Putin?
Oh,
like
yeah.
no, like people they're not looking at the whole
Or
picture.
help the economy when he's. I mean, his nonsense already gave you people money.
Exactly. Like we need to pray to the Lord for intervention. Okay, and there's no.
But see, here's the thing. I think that the Lord gave us an intervention. I think
did.
He gave us peace before the calm and peace before the storm. And we did not listen. We didn't take heed. We didn't make, or I won't say we didn't. I think we need to use this time wisely.
Yes.
Because without, and this is where our spirituality meets our worldview, without the intervention of Jesus continuing to hold back them four corners, continue to hold back the strife. This literally looks like I gave you a chance to see what evil looks like. And you chose to ignore it and not stand up against it. Here, y'all, I mean, it literally talks about the removal of the Holy Spirit from the earth. Like you can see it happening. So I'm just like, but I get what you're saying. We need people who are willing to run, people who are willing to stand. And that is why I think sometimes our church has done a disservice of getting our young adults, like you all, those who are watching, involved in politics. We've always said that politics are bad. But if you don't have young people involved in politics, young people who want to have seats at the Senate, young people who want to be involved, or if the only time we pay attention to politics is at the presidential races, then we're not there at the local level to exceed in the ranks and be able to have a seat where the vote matters. And then my last thing is, we as a Democratic Party or whatever party you want to be a part of, that is anti-Trump or not for Trump or want to do something different, we don't know how to unify. The GOP said, come bad, good, charges, prison. This is the person we're going to endorse. That's it. It don't matter how you feel. You go home and tell somebody, you go home and mind your business. But in public, you going to vote for Trump. And everybody said, yes, sir, massa. We, on the other hand, we be like, I don't like him. I don't like Biden, so I'm going to write my name on the ballot. No one is voting for the random person in Nebraska who thinks that the government is a conspiracy. And I'm not saying you should, but I'm just saying, like, we don't know how to unify. We don't know how to come together and say, this is going to be our pick. And even if I don't like everything about their platform, or even if I don't like everything about what they may be bringing to the table, maybe I agree with this policy, but not this one. As a community, we have chosen this person and we will stand with them. So we lose at the polls because we're divided.
Mercy. Well, we all hear Pastor Kimberly Mann's pastor as to why we should not allow this to continue to happen. But in all seriousness, though, the real world is important. And as Christian, God has called us to be ambassadors, not just in religious activities, but also in political ones.
Absolutely.
And so we want you all to stay informed. Watch the news if that is your outlet. Read the news is that, hey, everybody has a smartphone. The news pops up in the morning on your phone and you can get notifications. Listen to the news if that is the way you want to have it, but be informed, everyone.
Or follow a news page. If you're on IG, if you're on TikTok. I mean, a lot of these news stations have pages.
Don't follow Twitter, though, please. Please, don't let that be your
news. That's the Wikipedia of the news.
Yes, exactly. Please don't let that be. But whatever your legitimate outlet is, and whatever side you're on, just stay informed. And at the end of the day, politics do matter because they affect us as a whole and as a Christian community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, what you said was so good. I think it's time to transition to our next segment.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Welcome back, everyone. This is our segment where we get all the way deep down in our feelings.
Yes, and this is my favorite segment. If I have to be a little biased, this is my favorite segment.
Yes, because this is our fun segment, and so we want to get all the way in our feelings. All right, y'all ready?
Yes.
Solomon, Chris, y'all
and this
ready?
is where comment sections go on fire.
So the topic is this: weave extensions. Is it only for women? Or can men wear weave extensions? What are y'all talking? I mean, neither one obviously has in extensions right now, but
I mean, Chris's hairline is pretty crisp.
There's no.
Just for men, that black spray.
Wow.
That taps it down.
No, shout out Mario for the nice cut.
right,
I appreciate it.
shout out
All right.
Yes. But seriously, you all both have haircuts, obviously. So, but how do y'all feel about that? You know, we rocking the pieces.
No, I mean we kind of getting into like interesting times, you know, guys wearing nail polish and stuff. Like, it's kind of getting a little weird. I don't know about extensions. No. I mean braids, and is good, and stuff like that, cornrows. But extensions, like, why? I mean, that's more like a female
Well, what
thing,
if a guy uses braiding hair to make his braids longer or to make them thicker?
It's kind of interesting.
Gray area there.
I mean, maybe in like the movies if you're doing like a part or something, but nah.
Or what about a Rastafarian wig where you have the dreads, like you had a hat and the dreads, but they're not your real dreads?
Not.
I mean, I still think that's weird.
Absolutely not.
No.
That is insanity. Chris, what you?
You won't see me doing that. You won't see my friend group. I just think that I think that's more of a lady avenue. I don't think guys should be doing that. Like, I mean, no. If you want your hair to grow long, I'm sure there's products for that.
So
what I mean?
It's not for everybody.
Not
That's
for
why
everybody?
half other people the men in church are bald. There's not enough products.
Oh my gosh.
No, let's be real. They shave it all off.
I mean, there's Rogaine just for men, so there's that kind of stuff.
I've seen where they're doing implants now at the barbershops.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, they are.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that.
Just don't take the girl on the first day swimming,
The implants stay in even when you're swimming, just to
Really?
be. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know what? Go ahead, King. Do your thing. Go ahead.
That's true.
All right.
But what about the younger generation? A lot of college students are doing this. Like, seriously,
yes, they
especially
are.
having the low fade and then like the top with the braids, or having like the twist, or having the man buns. What about that?
I think if your man bun don't bun on its own, you can't add no bun to your man bun. So I just
I've seen it.
What's the texture of your hair?
And so
If it's
I
nappy,
think this
no man
whole
bun.
trend is interesting to me. And especially in the church. Because come on, comment section. Can we talk about it? Y'all don't even like women who wear weave. Like, men don't want their women to have extra hair. But now we got men going to get extra hair so that they don't look hairless. Like,
It's more of you conservative.
no, but on the flip side, the Bible does talk about like men looking like men. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to address that.
Well, I mean, Native Americans have long hair, so I'm like,
becoming lovers of themselves.
And so,
Mercy.
I think that at the end of the day, granted, hair is hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you
That's
would
true.
never tell a woman going through chemo not to put on a wig, right? Because if that's how she feels.
Yes,
Just like you would never tell a man who maybe he's having some health issues, he's going through, what's it called? Alopecia or something like that, and he wants to have hair, that he can't have hair. I just think that there's a way to do it that still honors your temple as God's creation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nail. It's this borderline of what is your actual sex? Are you male or female? That's the problem.
The distinction.
With the extensions, let's just be honest, it's popular amongst women, right? To wear extensions, wigs, weaves, whatever. But when it comes to guys, it wasn't traditionally. I mean, some men had toupees and, like you said, the Rogaine and all that stuff. But traditionally, it wasn't popular. Yeah. I think now, though, we have this issue where different genders are just not maybe happy or maybe want to explore things that other genders do. So for me, I mean, I don't have a problem with guys putting in some extra hair to make they braids a
Braids
little
look-
longer
yeah.
or to have some nice twists. But then when we get into these whole wigs and like all this other kind of stuff, I'm like, okay, what is your purpose? I guess for me, that would be my question to everybody. What is your purpose for this?
yeah, what's
You
the
know,
reason?
are you trying to be trendy? Are you just trying to add a little bit because your hair is a little thinner? Okay, yeah, we put little cornrows. You know, everybody kind of does that. But what really is your purpose? That's what it is for me.
So like my ladies, like okay, in the comment section, like if you are dating somebody and like let's say you go over his house or whatever, you still kind of getting to know each other or whatever, and like his hair comes off, like. Or you know what I'm saying, or like you know you maybe
put
you know,
enough
have a
glue on
little
that thing.
movie night or whatever.
Didn't
You
put enough
go
glue on
ask
it.
to use the bathroom, and you
my
see his
goodness.
lace front on the you see his lace
my
front
goodness.
on the sink, like
Yeah.
you
No
know what I'm
second
saying?
date.
Like is that a deal breaker? Like is it done?
I would assume
When
so.
he has it on, it looks good though. You can't tell.
Yeah.
It's a decent lace front.
Oh my goodness.
But like you
I mean-
find out that it's a lace front. Like is it done? That he's good dude. He loved Jesus. He got a lace front.
First,
That's false advertisement. Gosh.
Oh, well,
But
yeah.
dudes say that about women and we get mad.
This a little different. It's a little different for women.
I think I think there are some ladies that when they wear extensions, it looks good.
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
does. Like it's like the icing on the cake per
Yeah,
se. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Now there's some that kind of just overdo it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we
Like they
know.
just threw the icing on.
We,
it.
yeah, we know that. Come on, sweetie.
yeah, you doing the most. Yeah.
You're not
Yeah,
Pocahontas. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, but I just feel like it just depends on how you approach it. That's all I know. But man, you really went in on that question.
yeah, I don't know.
The
I
comments.
think that's just frightening. I think the comments. Oh man, I see it. That's frightening. Male or female, nobody wants to wake up. If you don't know. Now, if you know, that's differently. But if you don't know, nobody want to wake up to just some hair. It's like, whoa, what is this? In the bathroom at that? That's like the one place people actually don't like to see hair is in the bathroom.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
Oh,
But you
man.
know, I also think that a big reason why we're seeing a lot of this is because this generation is like trying to push outside of the oppressive boundaries of
definitely.
like
Yeah.
their home,
Yeah.
of religion,
That's true.
of gender norms, right?
Yeah.
Because those gender norms in
Exactly
the
what
past
I'm
have been
saying.
oppressive, right?
true,
So
yeah.
I've been oppressed by your boy, don't you cry. Your boys don't wear pink. Now we see a whole generation
Yeah,
of
freedom
boys
of
that
expression.
will rock some pink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of men who are saying men can cry. So I think that it bubbles outside of a generation that is pushing to normalize gender fluidity in normal ways. You know what I'm saying? In healthy ways, but then it overflows in areas that are like, I don't know if we need gender fluidity like right there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think that it's a tactic used by Satan on the attack of creation. I think Satan is always trying to attack creation because that goes back to the beginning.
I
That
like
is
that.
how
That's a
we
good
were
point.
created. And so, you know, we get to this whole thing, you were born a girl, but if you don't feel that way, then you don't.
Yeah.
That's a literal attack on to say that what God actually made sure that you were formed to be is not good enough. It, like you said, it gets dicey, and these are hard conversations, especially now when society is pushing certain agendas on people. You don't even have a choice. I mean, when we go back to school, even come on, some of the topics, it's like we wasn't talking about this at school, whether it was public or private. So I agree with you. I think that some of it could be the fluidity in that we don't want to be in a box. We don't want to be marginalized. But then the fluidity kind of keep flowing in the river. It's like, okay,
Exactly.
stop the flow, folks. We good.
Right,
Just-
because now you got
let's
men
stop.
who don't want to wear backpacks. They're wearing, what's it called, MERS, the man purse? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
fanny pack.
no, not a fanny pack.
like
It's
the
a man
it's like
purse.
a crossbody
It's a
for a
crossbody
man.
man
Yeah.
purse.
I've seen a lot of athletes wear that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that-
But
that's
then you
fine.
even look at, and I'm
Yeah.
not feminizing this, but the fanny pack, you know what I'm saying? Like we went from wearing it around our fanny to now it's a crossbody bag
Yeah.
that is very gender neutral.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm here
Yeah.
for it. You know what I'm saying? There's some very nice ones that I've seen on some
yeah.
men. You know what I mean?
Hey.
And there's some nice ones
Yeah.
that I've seen in on ladies. So you
Let the
see
guy show the hurt for a chance, not the
right,
ladies.
but
Share the wealth.
you see the fashion and social arenas pushing for gender fluidity, pushing for the basketball players to wear skirts. You know what I'm saying? Pushing for these gender norms to be just do whatever you want to do. And if anybody says anything to you, then they're hating on you. And they're anti fill in the blank. But I just think that whatever your boundary is needs to be your boundary. And if you're a Christian, your boundary is going to look different than what the world's boundaries look like.
Correct.
So,
yeah. Weave extensions. What's y'all feelings? Is it okay for your man to put a little braiding hair up in there to add to those twists and to that man bun / cornrow /
I mean, that might be a saving. Like, if we both got Kaneka on, then we can work and help each other out. Like,
yes. Ask
that man. Are you a 2B? You know what I'm saying? Are you a 30, 31? You know what I'm saying?
Are you trying to do color? We're going for a blonde today.
Exactly.
Let's share. How do y'all feel about that, ladies? You know, you okay with your man wearing a little nail polish color on his finger?
We talked about
You
gotta go back and watch that segment.
So are you okay with weave? Like, where do we cross the lines at it? I mean, when is it too much? When is it just right? When is it cute? Let us know, because I'm telling y'all, man, the men are wearing the weave.
They are. Now listen, what I will say is, I'm not mad at a little spray. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta touch sometimes you gotta even that thing out. Like, I'm not mad at a little spray. Just make sure it's the right color. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad at a little spray.
Shout out to all the men who got a head full of hair. God has blessed you with your crown.
Yeah.
Be happy about it. And shout out to the ones who got to spray it in just a little bit.
Sometimes you got to fill in the potholes. That's okay. Spray that thing. Like, you get it right.
Potholes.
Get it right.
But be consistent, folks.
Yeah,
don't spray it on Friday, and then we see you on Sabbath, and we say what happened to the spray.
You only got. Now listen, you can't only have a Sabbath lace front. Like, only on Sabbath. Get it all together. So be consistent.
You can say that about the women. The women, you ain't gonna catch them without that weave or that wig, honey. We gonna keep it consistent all throughout. You gonna see us looking nice and right. And now this is out in public. Don't accuse us at the house. At the house, we at the house, okay? Yeah. So the bonnet is real.
Through the door.
The bonnet is real. Amen. The bonnet is real.
Going back on the stand as soon as I get in the house, baby. Okay.
And shout out to the women who have a lot of hair and they still rock a weaver extension, because you are protecting your crown, sweetie. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And so this sounds super biased, because we're definitely talking about women wearing weave and extensions and adding on. So, you know what I mean? I do think that there is a way to enhance your look if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But still operate in a way that says, I am fearfully, wonderfully made, and I am I'm good with that. I think, like what she said, artful expression, fashion shows, a play, like those kinds of things, because it's artful expression. But I think like in your day-to-day life, like you just went and got, you know what I'm saying, like some 24-inch weave just to put on, or come on, you got that low cut, but you want that old Gumby fade, so you get the one that adds some extra height.
Pastor Man, you're getting a little specific here. All right, so Pastor Man seen some examples. She just sees.
Listen. Snapchat, TikTok is a rabbit hole, and so you start looking. Next thing you know, you see people put that thing on. But you know, I think that in your lane, as long as you are honest with the person you're dating, like don't let shorty come over, you know what I'm saying? Your high top fade is on the nightstand, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you get married and you're like, babe, I want to tell you something.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Like,
no, not at all. No, can't do that.
At the end of the day, this has been a lot of fun, but in all honesty, men, women, whether you wear weave or not, God loves you. But seriously, we want to know, what do you think? You know, is it for the men? The men should leave it alone. Is it only for the women? It's for the men and the women. You don't care as long as they look good. Let us know what you think.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Listen, this has been amazing.
Yes.
We talked about our religion.
Yes.
We talked about
Yep.
our worldview, what's happening in society, and we talked about what's happening in your life. And did we come in your living room today?
Oh, mercy.
Oh,
we
yeah.
probably did.
Came through the whole house.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. So we want you to continue to keep in touch with us. We want you to continue to be a subscriber.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, share.
Yes, at OUC on our YouTube page for the Oakwood University Church. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. We can't wait to see you again. Thank you to our lovely guests in the building. And if you enjoyed this,
Check Chris's hair real quick.
oh Lord have mercy, yes.
Oh no,
I just want to make
it's
sure
real.
we appreciate
Yeah.
it. We weren't being
It's all real.
hypocrites.
We appreciate the realness, and we want to be
Yeah.
like Pastor Snell always says. We want you to be a digital disciple, and we
Yes.
want you to share this out. And if you have any topics, or if you are interested in being a guest on the show, you can email us at mburden@oakwood.edu. Again, that's mburden@oakwood.edu. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Yeah, this has been our 3 Table Talks, where we keep it
Real
relevant
and raw.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.